how to not get disappointed by people, how to differentiate whom to trust. Is that even possible? So let me try to answer those questions today. And warm greetings to everyone. I hope you are going to like this. And this is based a little bit on my own experiences and my partner experiences and his recommendation of the book The Gift of Fear by Gavin the Baker. And his clients is FBI and all these central agencies, and he was basically working with the people in the considering the matter of the situational awareness. And this is exactly what we need, because in our relationships, whether they are personal, so you have hope for great friendship, love out there, it happens that you get disappointed, and I will tell you why this is happening and what to do about it. And although it's going to sound so very simple and very clear, I hope, it is not so easy in the practice, and it takes some years to expound on it and to learn and study actually yourself first. So how to not get disappointed by people? First of all, we are looking at the people through the prism of what do we want. So we never see actually this person, but we see our imagination of them, our projection of what we want them to be for us. So whatever we miss in our life, we are going to project. So if someone is, the more enthusiastic someone's coming to us with the great idea of love, friendship, business, the more we may lose ourselves because it sounds attractive and this is what we want. And we tend to not see those red lights, because when something feels so great, could it be wrong? Of course it can be wrong. So the first thing is our own expectations and projections of what we want, and this is subconscious. And this situational awareness, the practice of it, and keeping ourselves on the guard and a little bit on the distance, will help us to differentiate. And when I asked my partner, who was training for many years martial people from self-defense and martial arts, he told me that the only thing that differentiates people, those enthusiastic ones, was coming and said, oh my God, I want to learn so much. I bought all this equipment. I'm going to do this now forever. I'm going to learn, from people who just have this idea and they stop very soon, is time. That's the only difference. Only the time could tell, because as much as he could tell if someone's going to stay or not stay, he could predict everybody else. It was very hard to predict with those people who were extremely enthusiastic, dynamic, and really into it. And they were really talented into it on the top of everything. So it was pretty funny when he told me that, yeah, you know, they built this equipment, they are so into it, and then they just died out. So I didn't hear that expression in English, so I was laughing because it sounded very funny for me. So this is something to pay attention to for us. If people don't know themselves, they don't really know what they want. So they think they want to get into the business with us, they want to be our friend, they want to love us, or they think they love us, and in fact they are trying to fulfill their lacks in life or have another agenda. Sometimes it is also to simply harm someone, or, you know, having a narcissistic personality and so on. So the first thing is, can we trust? There was a lot of questions. How can I trust? Should I trust this guy? Should I trust this person, this woman, or whatever? And a lot of people already wrote many books in this matter, and I will stick with the one sentence that I like so much. And when for the first time I was channeling those books and I heard this ancient priestess, she was very clear about the friendship. She actually said that friendship doesn't exist. There's nothing like that in life. And of course, when I was typing it, writing it down, I was very, very resistant and say, how can you say something like that? And of course, she kept going and saying, no, this is only favor for favor. There is no such thing as friendship. And in my life, I was always more utopic and believing in big friendships, big, great things, and partnership, great love. And with time and with the observation, it's not like we have to stop believing those things, these things existing. However, to be clear about it and observe and having this situational awareness, we can prevent a lot of disappointment for ourselves. And by this situational awareness, I don't mean that you have to go out there and of course fear everything and be paranoid where the danger is coming from, but simply being clear and aware and predictive about the behaviors of people, what they are telling you by their tonation, by their nonverbal communication, words. And if you do listen to them attentively, you may pick it up, those incongruencies, and you can ask about it, because it's not that people are basically bad, but they may be not knowing themselves enough. So they may have those great intentions to get into business with you, but there is a lot they didn't know about themselves that will prevent this from happening. For past actually months, when I started this YouTube a little bit more, I watched that and observed that also between other people presenting themselves on YouTube. Some of them I know personally, some of them I heard, and I heard stories, and I will keep that in a secret, of course. However, it is also a lot could be prevented from disappointment if the people would be more clear about their intention, their seeing what that really is, how it works. So the first thing is to trust and learn to trust yourself, and differentiating and paying attention to the time matter. The second thing, very important, is to settling your own rules, your own borders. So this is more about being assertive, how it is good for you. So if you are in a business situation, if you're a freelancer, you work, what is your rate? What is your minimum rate? That if you go below that, you will feel bad about yourself and not appreciated. So basically you are harming yourself emotionally. It doesn't feel good. And of course, to avoid that, in one of the Oracle series, I wrote about musicians in The Hague that they were working for so little money that every time, of course, the alcohol was flowing and they were joking a lot. However, those jokes were like, yeah, we are male prostitutes, because of course they were not appreciated as musicians, they were not making enough money, and so on. So to avoid that, and we need to pay attention a little bit to what our rate is, what are our rules. So another example is about timing. If you make an appointment, are people coming, delaying? Another one is a business situation when you I met usually with Polish people a lot with this, and there's intrigues about someone said something and say, no, I never said it, I never said something like that, you are wrong. So all this incongruency, but also miscommunication and also denial. So how to work with that in a business communication? It's easier than between friends or in a family situation, because if you have it on paper, if you have it in email, SMS, you can prove it later on that these words were said. So, however, if you have a conversation with someone and it's only communication through the phone, later on you can do a follow-up and whatever social media you're using or email, and you can say, please verify, this is what we talk about, this is the result, so this is gonna happen, do I understand it clearly? and that may work to avoid those saying that I never said something like that, you imagining this, and so on. So learning your borders, your more about yourself, will give you pretty idea. So even if you see that someone is really good, really helpful, really, you know, have the heart on their hands and they want to get into business with you, by trusting yourself and having your own structure, you can differentiate, is it good for you? What are the traps of that situation? And you can also, in a friendly way, decline it, say no to something that you know it may harm you, even though it's a good person, but this person is not particularly aware of himself, herself at that particular moment. So another example here would be when you get into business communication with someone and his, her partner, wife, husband is also part of this, is involved in it, and your business partner dies, and then the wife is taking over and she's not so communicative. So considering, you know, the legal part of that, you have to be prepared for that. You can trust maybe the friend, the partner, but not exactly his partner. That's what I mean, to be very clear and specify how it should look like, what it should be like, and so on. And usually, of course, we learn that in the practice, and we make a lot of mistakes before we get something, and not every one of us can prevent it and see it. And this is where I'm coming to the energetical reasons why sometimes we are unable to see those things. So those of you who are well trained and have even a practice and differentiation, sometimes every now and then it could happen, you get disappointed by someone, or you get yourself in the situation you cannot get out of easily, legal situation. And this is usually happening when energy needs to be harmonized. So we all know we lived here not only one lifetime. If you are familiar with the concept of reincarnation, and some of you already have glimpses of it, and although you cannot scientifically prove it, you get more access, you get more understanding of yourself, and you can verify that with other people, considering, you know, the stories, what they see, if you met them and you build up your own, you know, history in it, then you could possibly take into account an idea that maybe you met with this person before, and in order so you both can go on, the energy needs to be harmonized. So if something happened and this person didn't feel so great after connection to you, perhaps in this lifetime you feel the same for a while, you feel disappointed, and you could not prevent it because you have to go through it in order to move on to something, to another experience. So this is this harmonizing energy. I am purposely not using the term of karma, but you are very familiar probably with that one. Cause and effect. And I like the concept of the energy that needs to come to balance back. So I hope you're going to like that one. Another one is when you know you are in a toxic relationship, toxic friendship, toxic business relation. You try to improve it, you understand, but you cannot get out of it from many, many different reasons, legal, emotional, whatever that is. And you have a lot of those things in your lifetime, from one to another. You keep on repeating, the pattern repeats. It's not only one time or two times or every now and then, it is often. This is usually when you are having this generational pattern. So one of your ancestors went to something traumatic, and to the seventh generation in our cells, in our DNA, the energy, the frequency is written down, and it continues, and it is probably reaching you. So here is where you can work with psychobiology to clear out that pattern. And if you know how to do it yourself, AFT is very, very helpful here. If not, there's probably many, many great specialists out there, and find the one that is fitting you. but you can also try it yourself to clarify that, and just by EFT or going to the course with someone when you do not have someone you can trust, because those specialists, of course, you have to follow your intuition, so you need to practice that before you're going to choose the right person for you. So I hope that was in a very, very nutshell. It is more complex for my Polish community, of course. They have always more questions. I don't have so many questions for you, but I have some, and I thank you for it. Sometimes I'm combining things, so it may also be interesting for you from the Polish people. So once again, we learn to trust ourselves first, because then we have clarity and better chance with the situational awareness to observe the tendencies of other people. If we can get with them into any relation you imagine would serve you and them. So that's the one thing. Another is to having your rules that feel comfortable for you, that you can expound on, and you have more of them, so you study and learn yourself. And the third final thing, concluding, is the energetical part, and this is the times when you are completely unable, and you may feel maybe some sort of guilt. Some people feel guilt at this point, like they are so well trained, they know all that, and yet they got themselves into bad situation. This is more energetic thing, or coming from your ancestors. So something there needs to be clarified, some sort of also rituals. But it usually helps when you do understand where is it coming from. Let me know if that was helpful, and till the next time, bye bye.